Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday night. It is time for your favorite show, Point Blank Period, on YouTube and just anywhere. It's the Bama Standard. Before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button. Go ahead and jump in the live chat. Let's get rowdy. If you're watching the replay, I need you to jump in the comments section and let us know what you think. As always, I'm your host, Justin Riley. With me is a living legend, all SEC linebacker, Marvin Constant. Senior analyst of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, Stephen M. Smith. What's going on, fellas?
We're playing for the sugar. A whole bunch of sugar.
Wow, there was like a dramatic pause right there. I don't know.
I was trying to collect myself there. We're playing for the Sugar Bowl on New Year's Eve, man.
Man, I'll be honest with you, man. That is a trash situation. You know, I actually legitimately thought about going for a second until I realized that kickoff is at 11 a.m. New Orleans
That's
time.
Right.
So by the time, that would mean I would have to cut my night before short so that I can even be functional at that time, even get to the stadium.
Man, how do we get the Jefferson Pilot time slot for the Sugar Bowl? That just
what a great reference there, Justin. Jefferson Pilot, great reference.
Is Dave Neal going to call the game? How's this set up, man? This is crazy.
I wish it was be Dave.
Nobody knows what JP Sports is anymore, okay? Everybody, the JP Sports game of the week, 11 a.m. kickoff. Hey, nobody ever knew. You got to be old to know about JP now, Jefferson Pilot.
For real.
I think I just dated myself with that one.
Right.
Justin, I watched it too.
But you know, the reality of it is we put ourselves in this situation. It doesn't help when we lose to an LSU team that goes out and gets dismantled by Georgia, gets dismantled by Texas A&M, a Tennessee team that gets dismantled by South Carolina. So we can no longer claim that, hey, we lost this game, you know, by 1 point or by 3 points to these two teams. Now, had they finished, you know, maybe one loss or two loss, or actually reputable teams without those two ass whoopings that they all took at the end of the season, then maybe. But, you know, when you factor in that loss to South Carolina the South Carolina for Tennessee.
Gold dragging, sir.
And then you look at what Texas A&M did to LSU. Like, when you go back and you look at our best win, because again, we beat Ole Miss, who lost to Arkansas. So, you know, our resume was trash at the end of the year. It was trash.
Right. And we'll get to that. But before we kind of jump into everything, we have a guest that's waiting in the wings. And Stephen M. Smith, do your thing. Bring this man on with us.
Man, let me tell you this, man. I'm going to say this. He came over from Oregon State, and I didn't know how, you know, it was going to go. This was the originator of a transfer portal before it even happens. You can call him King of the Portal, though we have not yet mailed the crown to him. But he was one of the best things about the portal before it happened, because he actually came in and did that work. We talk about a guy in 2015 caught 38 passes from Jacob Coker, 390 yards, 5 touchdowns, almost did an acrobatic catch against Georgia in that game. Wasn't an acrobatic catch. Caught a heat-seeking missile from Coker in the SEC championship game. I thought dude had taken his arm out. I mean, he's only Slotty Pippen for a reason, because he's Scottie Pippen of football, playing in the slotted receiver. Well, the coolest people I know right now, outside of Marvin Constant, of course, we got Richard Mullaney in the building. Richie Rich.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Welcome in. Yeah, dude, you kind of started all this. So I don't know if we should be thanking you for JMO and Jahmyr Gibbs, or should we be a little frustrated right now?
Cussing you out for Toa Hill.
Founder of the Portal Academy. Marvin, let's take it piece by piece here. We can thank Rich for J-Mo, Landon Dickerson, Coker. Well, he didn't Coker, but so J-Mo Dickerson, Eli Ricks, Jahmyr Gibbs. We can thank him for more.
Let me stop you right there. We can also thank him for losing Trey Sanders, who's going to be a first-round draft pick, for a bum. For somebody that we got to replace him. So you're telling me we lost Trey Sanders to take toe-a-toe?
Well, let's go ahead and jump into that. Stephen M. Smith, if you would, man, get us all up to date. We've got a lot of guys in the portal, man. Let's talk about that. Who we have in the portal, and what's that, Bo?
Do y'all not know who we have coming in at running back?
Please,
You coming out of retirement?
Yeah, he does have one more.
Justin
Hayes, Justin Hayes.
Yes, is a beast. Watch the tape, and guess who he got mentoring him? You looking at him?
Bo Scarbrough.
Oh,
I hope you don't oversleep on him like you did me this weekend.
Be quiet. Be
yeah,
quiet.
we heard you had a hard time there, Bo. You want to talk about that?
Yeah,
this is a safe place, Bo.
Because when you got somebody, they fully dressed and did everything, and they say, "Hey, we going here. How far you will? 10 minutes. I leave 40 minutes." You know what I'm saying?
We went back though. We went back to Plano though.
No, I'm talking about the first night.
Oh, that was that. Oh.
Messed me up the first night, and then you know what I'm saying. We go to watch the game. You know what I'm saying. I get to the crib. I'm on my phone. I lay across the couch. This dude here, he done made me take a shot. I don't even drink. So now I'm feeling my ears and shit hot. So now I know you know what I'm saying. So I'm waiting on him. I'm thinking that he gonna send me the address by 8:30. You know what I'm saying?
I sent it to you at 9:30.
Man, I was gone at 9:30. I woke up at 2:30. I woke up at 2 and texted him. I said, "Man, I fell asleep." Then I hit him. He hit me back. I said, "Hey, you want to come to 5 a.m.?"
See, I'm gonna tell you, as you get older, you learn you gotta set an alarm. I set my alarm for 9:30 p.m.
But
Got up.
I wasn't even trying to fall asleep. I'm playing on my phone because I'm thinking like, all right,
Bo,
they say that we gonna leave at 11.
Bo.
It's already 8. They say we're gonna leave at 11. Marvin is sitting there, you know what I'm saying, in a minute. So soon as he send it to me, I'm gonna go. My clothes are already laid out. I'm just gonna change clothes. Boom, boom, because where Mar was standing at one number 15 minutes from where I live at. So that would have been by the time we would have got there at the same time.
Bo, sitting on the couch watching TV, falling asleep watching TV is the first sign of old age. Okay?
It is. You're old, sir.
No, mister. You know you got that chin imprint in your chest.
Being a parent has aged him.
I give you the handbook on how to do this at this age now. You're going to have to go home, take a nap, set an alarm so you can get up, have your 5-hour energy on standby. So when you get up, you can take your 5-hour energy.
I don't need no 5-hour energy.
Well, you need something. Clearly, you text me at almost 3 in the morning talking about you just getting up.
Anyway, shout out to D Pickett for the $4.99 super chat. Stephen Smith, I want to get it back to you. Let's talk about this portal. Name some guys that you were kind of expecting to be out, and then name some surprises because we've got 3 linemen there, got a couple of wide receivers. What's going on, man? There's a mass exodus.
Okay, so the guys I expected Amari Kite. I expected James Brockemeyer. I expected Trey Sanders to be in there where the injuries are concerned. So those 3 I kind of expected. I even low-key expected Javion Cohen to some degree. Now, the surprises, I was shocked Christian Leary got in there. He and JoJo Earl shocked me because you look at both of those 2 guys, they have the speed that you need at the wide receiver position, but Christian Leary, Bill O'Brien hasn't played him all season. And I can understand why Christian Leary would be frustrated because O'Brien hasn't played him all year. So I was shocked to see Leary get in there. And then when JoJo Earl got in there, I'm like, what in the world going on? Because JoJo was the one that flipped late in the 2021 class from LSU to Alabama. And that dude right there coming from Texas, that guy can play. Like, I know he had the foot injury in preseason camp, so he didn't get back into the Arkansas game. But those were the 2 that shocked me, Earl and Leary. The rest of them, I kind of had an idea that the writing was on the wall because of all the talent coming in here. But Earl and Leary, those two shocked me.
Man,
Okay.
but like what gets me is that you get scared because of what guy coming in next. Is what they don't understand it is always gonna be that it's always gonna rotate. It's gonna keep going. Marv played at Alabama. Look how many linebackers that came in after him. If you wanna be the best, you gotta play against the best, and you gotta practice with the best, and you gotta
Very
compete
true.
with the best.
But at
I
the
don't
same
know
time,
why is you running from the talent? Like you
but
made a
Bo,
commitment to the team.
can I ask you something, Bo?
What's up?
What if they're not running from the talent, more or less that they're running from the environment?
That's a good point.
But when you come on when you come to these practices and you come through and you come to the fourth quarter, when you come visit in February, you see everything that we go through.
I ain't talking about that environment, Bo. I've often said it. Players at this age play to the personality of their coach.
Coaches, I understand that.
That environment. Coaches can create a negative environment. I'm not going to name any, but I've played with several coaches that created a negative environment. Because had we had the portal when I played, there'd have been several people who would have left. Because some coaches create their culture of that negative environment. And you got to realize something. Not every kid is raised tough enough to hear that.
But when you get to the league, you have no control over who your coach is.
Again, you said the league. We're talking about 17, 18, 19-year-olds. Some of them fresh off their mama kitty.
When they get to the league, they're going to be 20, 21.
But I'm at 17, 18, 19. A lot of these kids are still fragile for some reason because this generation, you know what it is? This generation is soft because you know what it started? It started with giving everybody participation trophies. Back when I played youth sports, you either use an offensive MVP, defensive MVP, or league MVP. If you were one of them three, you got this damn ribbon and you took your ass home. Now everybody get a damn trophy. So you're dealing with this generation of, I didn't get anything. Nobody gave. Damn that. You go get what you're gonna earn what you get, man. And that's the generation we're dealing with, the participation trophy generation.
And Marvin, how small that ribbon used to be?
I wouldn't know.
Small.
I wouldn't even call it a ribbon. It was more like a
sticker.
There you go.
Every year I played youth sports, I was either offensive MVP, defensive MVP, or the league MVP. I was one of the three every year.
And when I played Little League my first year, and I found out I wasn't getting the MVP, man, I didn't show up. I ain't know. But
the reality of it is, we're dealing with this participation trophy generation right now. That's what we're dealing with right now.
Well, let's let the man who was in the portal, kind of weigh in on this. Like I said, Richard, I mean, it benefited you tremendously. You got an opportunity to play for the best team in America, win a national championship, but also play for one of the greatest offensive minds out there, and that's Lane Kiffin. Can you kind of talk to us about your feelings on the portal now as opposed to how it was when you're there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the only reason why I did it was, one, our coach left. Mike Riley took Nebraska job. We got Coach Anderson from Wisconsin who came in, and I was already thinking about transferring, but I stuck out spring with him and we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. And my goals, my aspirations were obviously to play in the league. And once I got in the portal and got the offer from Alabama, I was like, look, I'm either going to go there, I'm going to be good enough to play and hopefully better my chances to make it in the NFL, or I'm going to go there and, that's it. It is what it is, right? And, I ended up going there, putting my head down. And the rest is kind of history. Did my thing and, we won a natty.
Quick question, though. I noticed what you just said. You said you stuck it out in the spring with him and it didn't go so well. What did I just tell y'all? The environment that some of these coaches create is why a lot of these kids get in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about the environment that Lane Kiffin created for you, Richard. What was the relationship with him like? I mean, he's an innovator of offense. He's a guy that is notorious about finding matchups, creating matchups to benefit your skill set, and to maximize it to its full potential. What was that relationship like, and how did you take on his personality?
Yeah, I mean, well, I kind of already knew him because he recruited me. He was at SC when I was coming out of high school, so we already had a relationship. And then when I got there on my visit, Saban actually wasn't even there. It was just him. It was just Coach Kiffin. And we probably sat in the meeting room for an hour, just kind of like, hey, this is where I see you on our offense.
Hold on. There was a visit. Saban wasn't even at the door?
Yeah.
Get him.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Lane probably had his feet kicked up on his desk too, didn't you? Lane.
Yeah, so he just kind of showed me where I would fit in the offense. They didn't obviously have a lot returning. I think Ardarius was the leading receiver with like 13 catches the year before or something like that. So, just being able to come in, be, a senior leader, a guy who's, has a solid resume and, just to kind of contribute any way I can.
So was Lane, the bar y'all were at having drinks, was Lane using a Sharpie on the bar napkin to draw these plays? Or y'all actually using a whiteboard?
Good question.
Another round, please. Right here.
What?
This is
but here's the biggest question. Was the interaction in the meeting room or was it at Galette's?
No, it was in the meeting room. It was in the meeting room.
I'm just saying, Lane's famous around Tuscaloosa now. I'm just saying.
I know. Yeah.
But do you see it now as a positive thing or a negative thing? Like we were talking about before we jumped on air, I believe there's something upwards of thousands in the portal now. Do you think it's still a good thing, or do you think it's kind of getting out of hand?
It's getting out of hand. I think it's ruining these kids, man. You jumping from school to school.
He wasn't asking you, man.
Oh, well, I'm asking the group, but yes, Richard, if you lead off, and then we'll let Bo talk.
Hey, man, Bo coming in hot for real.
He trying to make up for lost time since he didn't get up Saturday night. If Lane was there, you would have got up to come hang out with us.
True facts.
Lane would have gave me the details a little earlier too. Not while he already dressed in the car. But I just think the NIL deal have taken it's ruining these kids for real, because you can just be sitting in the meeting room and a school can say, and you could be one of the players that up next, just like the same thing that happened how Amari Cooper got on because of DeAndre White, or one of the guys got hurt and he was up next, like boom. But now is if you one of those guys and the school say, hey, you come over here and start, we'll give you $3 million. The guy can get up and just leave right then and there. No question, no nothing. And I think that is what a lot is going on. And a lot of kids want to go play with Deion. And Deion not going to accept all of them. You know that. But then again, at the same time, if you are in this portal, you better be putting yourself in the best situation for yourself and not for somebody else. You better make sure that you're going to have a spot there, and you got a chance at playing. But if you made a commitment to these teams, go through what you got to go through to be the better player. Compete, learn, follow, then lead. If that's what it is, if you made a commitment to this team and after a year you like, nah, I don't want to be here. You want to transfer and you transfer here and you over. Nah, I don't want to be here because I ain't playing. Now you transferring again. What they're telling the league, irresponsible. Not able to take, not able to take criticism, not able to handle adversity.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's it's crazy. It's like a free for all, especially like teams, take like Mountain West or like even like Pac-12. like the lower tier teams. Like you have a guy that's, say like a receiver that went for like 1,000 yards, something like that. You have, the teams with the money that just literally have a guy hit him up or something like, hey, we'll pay you yada yada to, get in the portal and come here. So it's just like free. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy that it's gotten to this. And I'm not saying it's for everybody, but I got in the portal to better myself, try to create an opportunity for myself. It was never about like money. It was always like
they should pay me for all my name and likeness that they use on me. Give me all my money back from all those years.
Speaking of money, Steve Brown is here on his OnlyFans cam.
If I was in the NIL when I was out, I have $50 million.
Okay, so guys, listen. I had to come on. I've been missing in action for a couple. I am down with the flu big time. I don't know what this new variant is, but I am here and I want to give my opinion on all this stuff. What's up, Mr. Mullaney? What's going on, sir?
How we doing?
I'm naked. Listen, so anyway,
We're free.
hey man, listen. I this is how I feel about Alabama football. Number one, I see that most of the players who are leaving are offensive players, which further tells me that it has a lot to do with the offensive coordinator. To me, from what I've heard, they hate him. He's not engaging. He's not a player's coach, and I understand now why he's in the press box. Number two, I feel like this. I am a Crimson Tide fan for life, always been. And if you leave, don't come back. Now, if nobody takes you in the transfer portal, don't come back. We don't want to see you because we want people in the portal. If you're leaving to better yourself and you think that it's a better opportunity for you, I get it. But if you out here chasing money and doing all this other stuff, that means your heart wasn't with it in the first place. I get trying to better yourself and maybe going to a college that might showcase your skill set better or your talent better like you did. I understand that. I get that. But just to go and chase money, that means your heart is not on football. It's only on the money. And that's where the transfer portal and the NIL deals is messing up college football. I don't have a problem with the players getting paid and the transfer portal, but I feel like there should be certain rules and stipulations because this right here is sad and it's taking all of the integrity out of college football. And pretty soon it's not going to be fun to watch because the kids' heart is not into it. At first, college football was about these kids. I love college. I love college football more than the pros anyway, because and of course the pros have more leeway to do what they want to do and this and that. But the thing is, college, you're playing because you're trying to be a part of something that's bigger than you. You're trying to reach a certain level. You're trying to reach the pros. So everybody is playing, working their asses off, playing their asses off to get to a certain level in life to be good. Now they're getting a little money. Some of them getting paid more than the coaches. They don't give a damn. They only care about the money. So I feel like there should be stipulations when you can get your money and how much you get at a certain time, or don't even give it to them until they graduate. It's just something that something has to happen so the powers that be can have more power over college football, because if not, this NIL and this transfer portal is going to ruin college football. And again, I say, I don't have a problem with you transferring if you're going to try to better yourself. If you feel like if you're an offensive, if you're a receiver or a slot person, and you see that there's a school out there that's like they're doing an air raid, they're pass happy, they're trying to showcase the receivers. Okay, yeah, I get it. But you going because somebody said we're gonna offer you more money here, man. Okay, so where's your loyalty? Where is it? So yeah, if you're going for that reason, get the hell on. Don't come back. We don't need you. But again, I also say this in closing: I can't keep blaming Bill O'Brien, and I can't keep blaming Pete Goldnuts. I will say this: listen, you got to start looking at Coach Saban. You got to start looking at him. Yeah, he's a great coach. I love him to death, well respected. But if you got a coach and you know he's not doing a good job, and all of the fans and everybody's complaining, it's time to make a move. And again, I say you got to look at these players who are leaving. Most of them have been on offense. Like, how many defensive players left? Anybody knows?
One.
Rest of them offense. That should tell you something. Offense is vanilla. It's awful. It's backyard football. And Bryce Young, if given a good offensive coordinator, would be winning the Heisman again, back to back. Also, his receivers would be doing a lot better. But when people know your offense, when people know that you don't have you're always predictable, and it's awful. So that's my take, and I just wanted to come on and say that before I die. So yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Before you go, James Knox has a question for you, Steve. Are you in Deshaun Watson's massage parlor?
No, I left there. That's why I'm sweating right now. But it was pretty cool. So yeah,
But yeah, Richard, I want to ask you. A lot of people now kind of view this transfer portal, NIL, and going to schools like Alabama as a business transaction, and don't really understand the culture once they get there, what it takes to immerse yourself in the culture and be a part of the Standard. For you, what kind of adjustment was it? Getting used to the Bama Standard and understanding that culture.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough, and I think that's kind of what is not going on now, but yeah, I was adapting to a culture that was already there. It wasn't like it was me and a bunch of other transfers coming in, and they are, and from day one we're walking in like we're the guys. Bama was going to be Bama with or without me. I was just going in, and they had guys. I mean, that's how it was. I mean, day one, I was like, welcomed with open arms, right? The guys, they were already friends. They already knew each other. They had their position group. The receivers, they were tight. They knew I was a guy walking in that was like going for one of their jobs. I'm not going to say they were like mean or like, shut off or anything, but it took, I think, I remember it was a 7-on-7 during the summer.
It took when you made that one-handed catch.
Yeah. And then everyone was like, oh, running up on me. I'm like, all right.
Hey,
after that.
Hey, you know what? I want to say one more thing before I go, because I'm finna die for real. Listen, to the players that are leaving, just know we are Bama. We're gonna replace you with better. Everybody wants to come to Bama. I don't give a damn what type of lies Deion Sanders tell y'all. All that. Everybody wants to come to Bama. Watch what I tell you. How these players are going to be replaced, because just like the transfer portal can hurt Bama, it could always help Bama. And I think from what I understand, that Bama did better in the transfer portal than anybody. The only mistake that we made was we kept our offensive coordinator. Yeah, remember that. All right, I love y'all. I'm telling y'all that now. I don't love y'all for real. I'm saying that because I'm about to die. Okay, y'all. See y'all later.
All right, brother. Good to see you. But tell us about that one-handed catch.
Hey, somebody please check on. Let me take Richard Steve. All right.
No, I know, right? But before we move on to the playoff discussion, I want to hear about that one-handed catch, Richard. You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, it was red zone. I forget what I was going against, but it was a while.
Hold on, Rich. You mouthed the guy so bad you forgot his name?
No, I just a lot of football, and I just forget.
They're just marks.
That's what it just took to get the respect from the guys. It didn't matter what I did at the old school. It's not like I was anyone. I was just walking into a situation. I was trying to adapt and integrate myself into the culture that was already built there. And like I said, there's no bad blood or anything when I first walked in, but you got to earn the respect of the guys that, your peers. And I think that's what it took me to finally make a play. And then it was like, all right, this guy can help us out. After that, it was history. It was like I was part of the family.
Yeah, he made that catch. Everybody went crazy. I was like, oh, he hit him with the sesame seed sauce. Because it was like we used to go at it in 7-on-7,
Mm-hmm.
like like almost like we were down there about to fight each other. It like that's part of the practice, but we got into that in 7-on-7.
Yeah, because there's no coaches out there. It was just us.
So, but Richard, because no coach. It just we run the team, like I told you. And when he made that catch and we started going crazy, defense was so mad they want to fight. It was, hey, he know what the culture was like when we was over there.
Yeah, you understood the assignment day one. And that wasn't the only spectacular play that you're known for. A lot of people give Najee Harris the credit for leaping over people and being the one that may have found that. However, if you roll the tape back a couple of years, you were doing that before, Najee. Is that something
hurdling dudes against Ole Miss?
Is that something that you passed on? Is that a California thing?
He did it in a national championship game and scored.
No, that was the Ole Miss, but shoot, hey. Najee's clearing them. I didn't clear the guy clean. I kind of got
you cleared him clean.
I don't know. That was I've never even done that in my life. It was just a instinct. I don't even know. Just full blacked out.
See, when you come to Alabama, you get this athletic system that you didn't know that you had.
Bro, I promise you, because I did not think
we got that Bama effect is different.
I'm telling you, Bo, because I didn't think Jacob Coker would just run through people, and then he'd get to Bama, and then the A&M game, he put a defensive back in the dirt, and I'm like, is that Coker? And then Coker got up, pimples on his face and all. Coker got up flexing on folks. I'm like, what?
Because that's the Bama factor. You know what I'm saying? That effect on you. No matter what color you is, you gonna have that Bama effect.
I mean, when he got up flexing on folks, I'm like, look at Coker, like, man, all right.
Oh yeah, but Jay Coker, I know he owed me.
What?
I owe him, or he owed me, one of them, because I know Rich. You know, we had these 3 showers that everybody loved to get. They had the water straight out. So, like, when you turn it on hot, the water will get so hot that it will literally burn you. You know what I mean? So I had I had just got all the soap off me. I know Jake waiting on that shower. So what I did was I turned it all the way up on hot. So it take a little bit while before it come out of there. So I'm like playing in water for real. And then like soon as I felt that it would get to that point, I grabbed my towel. I was like, there you go, Jake. You know what I'm saying? You can get it. And he walked over there and like, you know what I'm saying? Like walked straight into it and it burned him up and he turned around. He like, you mother. He said, I owe you twice now, Bo. I got him twice. One of them before this one they first made the Theragun. Richard, I think, do you remember the Theragun we had that spins?
Mm-hmm.
It had to be up on your neck and skin though, but it'll spin. But if you got the shirt on, it'll spin and catch in your shirt and it'll pinch the hell out of you. You know what I'm saying? So we had a trainer. He was in school, but he was like, I don't know what they call them, the GAs, right?
Yeah, like the student assistants or something.
Student assistant, yeah. I remember like it was yesterday. His name Muscle. He now works for St. Vincent. So Muscle had the little thing. So Jake wanted it on his back. And so I was like, Muscle, I was like, bro, you gotta turn it up. I know what I'm talking about. Like, I've been here longer than you. I'm like, you gotta turn it up. You know what I'm saying? Just go put it on his back. I ain't telling him to pull his shirt up because I already knew what he was gonna do. Man, Muscle turned that thing up. So now it's spinning to the point to where you can't even like see the little grips on them. and he walks up to Jay Coker, man, and put it on his back, man, and like it spins up his shirt and pinches Jake in the back. Man, Jake was so mad. I can't tell y'all the words that he's told me. I used to do some messed up stuff around, but everybody liked me though. But I do something to you that you'll be like, I gotta get you back.
You're that guy.
Yeah, but one thing about it, you could never get me though.
Hey, Bo put that pent up aggression in Jake. That's probably why Jake ran that dude over from A&M. Jake had to get somebody because Bo put that aggression in Coker, man.
Yeah, that was hateful. That was just hateful. So now we know where it originated from. Shout out to Eric Beasley, $10 super chat. We appreciate the love. So we can properly close this transfer portal discussion up. Stephen N. Smith, you are the leading voice, the leading authority on all things Bama. Is the sky falling? Please calm these people down.
I don't think it is, because if you look at it here, as far as the wide receivers, right, you're gonna have Bond back, Kobe Prentice back, Shaz Preston back, Kendrick Law back. I think all four of those guys are gonna play in the bowl game and jumpstart themselves for next season. Ja'Cory Brooks is still in play, so Ja'Cory Brooks is still here. You still got him in play. You look at the running back situation. Bo mentioned Justice Haynes. You also got to throw in Richard Young. They're both coming. And then you look at Jace McClellan's coming back. Roydell Williams is coming back. You got a freshman in Jamarian Miller who can run the football. So you're not losing anything there. On the offensive line, you still got J.C. Latham, Tyler Booker. This becomes very interesting. Is he a guard or is he a tackle moving forward? Because that guy can play. Seth McLaughlin comes back. So you still have offensive linemen to work with. On the defensive line and on the defense period, you still got some guys to work with. So I think this was Saban's way of cleaning house. Okay. I think this was Saban's way. And I go back to Bo, remember what I told you, what you said to Nick Saban shook him up and lit a fire into him. I think this is part one of what you said, Bo, causing Coach Saban to clean house. I think this is part one of that house cleaning. And I think part two will be once the bowl game ends, coaches will be evaluated, and the ones that need to be removed will be removed upon the end of that evaluation. But this is part one, the exodus of the players.
Everyone get evaluated at the end of the season. Like everybody from the training staff, everybody has a meeting with Coach Saban. But I was very surprised that number 70 had left because I had me and him had a one-on-one talk. Like I talked to him one-on-one and about his situation, about his situation, and I told him about the situation of how you can overcome it and how you can work it out. And like I told him, like when you mess up on one play, don't get upset and let that play mess you up on the second play. And I'm like, you do that, don't you? He was like, yeah, man. I'm like, I get in, but I don't want to, get into what we were talking about. But I'm like, that's when you got to say, so what that you fucked up on that play. Now what you gonna do about it is the next thing. And I think, Richard, you can remember that we had that say so of so what, now what, and hold the rope, and all the calm on the fire and all that. Win Monday through Friday, and make the game easy on Saturday. And I had I thought I had a great conversation with the guy, and he seemed like he understood what I was saying, and he said that he didn't look at it that way, and it was like, and he appreciated me, like, man, thank you for telling me that, because I didn't even look at it like that. Like I was so focused on I done messed up, man. I done messed up. I'm like, you can't think about that. You got to think about what you going to do next about it. That's what it's all about. It's all about so what, now what?
And Bo, and remember, Bo, Mac Jones had that same problem. Remember when Mac Jones first got to Bama in 2017, Mac wanted to be a perfectionist so bad, Mac would throw a pick in practice and straight lose it. And Coach Say had to tell him, I love the passion, Mac. I love the emotion, but you got to be able to control that. And Mac wasn't finally able to control that until I think 2019 when Tua got hurt, and then Mac had to go in there in the Iron Bowl. Yeah, he had the 2 pick sixes that game, but you saw the growth with the 4 touchdowns.
That's right.
And then he goes to the Citrus Bowl against Michigan, and the boy turned up, and then it turned into what he did in 2020. So even Mac had to learn, okay, I screwed this up, but I can't let this overwhelm me. But you got some guys that understand that concept, Bo, and you got some guys that still battle with that concept, and Cohen is still trying to battle with that concept.
Yeah, I got you. And speaking of evaluation, our wide receivers were heavily criticized this year. But Richard, you had some time to kind of look at the receiver group. Who in that receiver group were you the most impressed with, and you think that maybe next season is going to be, that productive year, that coming out party, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's been weird to see the guys that are transferring, especially 11, right? Holden,
Trayshawn Holden, yeah.
Yeah. I was confused to see him transfer. I figured he was going to be, hopefully take that next step and be the guy next year.
I think the reason why he left, Rich, is Holden and Bryce came in together. They did some stuff together in California. So I think because Holden knew, Bryce ain't coming back. Bryce going pro. So if Bryce going to go pro, why do I need to hang around here? So, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think because he came in with Bryce and they both had this kind of California ordeal with Bryce being a top 3 pick. Yeah. Holden's like, let me just bounce out of here.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be obviously a young group. So, you've got to think they're going to probably get some transfers in that, are going to put some age in the group with experience. And then I know they have some obviously high recruits coming in. So I don't know. I think it's going to be an interesting group going into next year for sure.
Gotcha. Well, it's no mystery. The top 4 teams have been revealed. Georgia number 1, Michigan number 2, TCU, who lost, but is still number 3. And occupying that 4th spot that many feel Alabama should have occupied is none other than Ohio State. Bama is an outside looking in at number 5. Gentlemen, I've been waiting for a while. Did Bama get screwed? What is your honest opinion of how this played out? Stephen M. Smith, I'll start with you.
Okay, so I got 2 different sides of this coin right here. So the first side is the College Football Playoff Committee contradicts itself every year. I mean, let's just be honest. They sit there, they come at you with the strength of schedule, your best wins, your best losses. They come at you with, who did you play? Why did you play them? All of this stuff. But the main thing they talk about is when we turn on this tape, Pimp Juice, we turn on that tape. We want to see from the minute we turn on this tape, did you control the football game from start to finish? We want to turn on this tape and stop it and be like, at that moment, so-and-so controlled the football game. And when you look at TCU, no offense to TCU and Garrett Riley, they've done a great job this season. But when you honestly sit back and watch TCU's tape, can you point to any game where you can stop and say, holy mama, they controlled that sucker from start to finish? You cannot. They were in heart attack, cardiac arrest games all year long. There were games they come out getting blown out by 28 only to win at the end. Or they come out and are down by 10 and 14 only to come back and win at the end. So in the committee's mind, they're thinking, okay, you're going up against a 3-loss Kansas State team that shouldn't even be in this championship game. You guys should boat roast these guys, especially with the offense that Garrett Riley has and the defense that TCU has. Not only did TCU not boat roast these guys, TCU had no control of the game. Kansas State beat you by 3. Should have been a blowout, by the way, but Kansas State beat you in what is essentially a home game for TCU because the game is played in Dallas. So the fact that all of these factors happen and TCU still gets awarded in, the College Football Playoff Committee is a giant contradiction. Now we move on. The second coin of the conversation, the consolation, I guess, for all of this is at least you get an opportunity to have some get back here in the Sugar Bowl. Alabama has not necessarily fared well in this matchup. It lost in the '09 Sugar Bowl. It lost in the 2014 Sugar Bowl and the 2015 matchup as well. So at least, you get some of that give back there where the Sugar Bowl is concerned. But yeah, the College Football Playoff Committee, it's a walking contradiction. That panel has not been right since 2014 and 15, where they had Archie Manning, Jeff Long, and Condoleezza Rice on the panel. Because at the very least with those three, they talk like they had some common sense and watched some football. You watch the panel right now, I don't know who this Boo Carrington guy is, but they just throw him up like that. Boo, say something. Oh, no.
And yeah, you're right, Steve. And one thing of note, TCU struggled mightily against a Kansas State team that was actually depleted. They were playing with backups in that game.
They were playing the backups of the backups.
Right. Well, Bo, what are your thoughts, man? Did they get it right? Are you frustrated? What is your honest opinion of how it played out?
Honestly, I think it would have been hard to put a 2-loss team in there with a lot of the other teams that only got 1 loss. And, for Michigan and Ohio State, they're 2 great teams. You know what I mean? They had to play each other. Someone had to lose, and that fourth spot, I mean, with TCU, man, I really think they did it because of the ticket sale. That game's gonna be played in Dallas and TCU is, but do I think that TCU deserved to be in there? Yeah, 1-loss team. Do I think that Michigan deserved to be in there? Yeah, undefeated team. Do I think Ohio State deserved to be in there? No, you got blowed out at home. But it's a 1-loss team. We got in with a 1-loss. We was a 1-loss team, and we got in. We didn't even go to the championship game, and we still got in because they knew we were gonna sell tickets, and that Alabama were gonna play. If you give us a month to get ready, we're gonna kick your ass. And they know that. And they know that we're gonna bring fans as well. Like our fans gonna travel no matter where the game at. They know they can sell their ticket for however much it is. Alabama gonna pay for it. So, but with this one, I think they probably. I would have to say they got it right because of the 1-loss team. That's my only thing that I can say that the 1-loss. If we had that one, okay. So let's just go back to if Alabama had the 1-loss and Tennessee had the 1-loss, then what? Because we lost to Auburn and Auburn went to the SEC championship and they lost and we still got in. It's the same thing. It's like if Tennessee just lost to Georgia and they didn't go to the SEC championship, do they still get in? With TCU, would they 1-loss, and Ohio State, would they 1-loss? Do they still get in?
Yeah, fair point.
I'm intrigued on once 2024 get here and we get this 12-team playoff. I want to see how everybody react then.
Oh, so in 20, so it's gonna be a 12-team playoff.
It's gonna be a 12-team.
It's a 12-team playoff. That means it should at least be a 10-game season.
That's what I'm saying.
Now it's already 15 right now. If you play to the championship, that's 15 games. And then on top of that, college, we be in pads more than the NFL. So we in pads in the spring for a month, and then we come in pads again for camp. And after camp, it's strictly games. So how do you take care of these guys' body with a 12-team playoff if they already played 12 games? And then if you got to play what they're gonna be end up in 17 games, 18 games.
Yeah,
playing into February.
Yeah, so I say eliminate the non-conference cupcakes.
It's not like the NFL to where we don't wear anything in the spring or in OTAs. We're not in anything. We only get in pads in the camp and during camp, and we only in pads maybe 4 or 5 times then.
Yeah.
So how do you take care of these guys' body with this 12-team play?
Excellent point. Well, Rich, what's your overall take? Does it kind of mirror some of the things that have already been said? Do you have a different view of things, or where do you stand on the playoff lineup?
Yeah, I mean, it would have obviously been great for us to get in, but just kind of echoing what everyone said, like, do we deserve to get in? I don't. Over these teams, I don't know. Maybe Ohio State, just because. I mean, shoot, didn't Notre Dame take them down to the wire? There's a bunch of teams. I think Northwestern was playing with them at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and then you go 1 and 2. Michigan and Ohio State play, and Michigan just, let's not act like that game was even close that at all. So it's like, do they deserve to get in over us? I don't know. I mean, and then it would have been interesting if that happened to TCU and then USC won. Who would have been the team out? Would TCU stay in, or would Ohio State jump? I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah, like I said, I wish we deserved to get in, but it would have been cool to see Bryce and the team make a run at it, but I just don't really see us deserving of being in the playoffs, to be honest.
Yeah. What I enjoyed the most though is seeing like national media implode each and every week, because it was like, is Bama gonna get in?
Yeah,
are they gonna sneak Bama? We're seeing Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, Stephen A. Smith, Colin Cowherd, Shannon. They're all just imploding one by one. Danny Cadell. Dude, Danny Cadell lost his mind. That was hilarious.
Colin Cowherd, too.
That was just hilarious. Because watching the chaos happen the way that we thought it was going to happen. And then everybody's like, Nick Saban going to backdoor his way in, ain't it?
Yeah, it's just like one thing after another happening. You're like,
they know if Alabama get into the playoff, we get a week to prepare for a team. They know we're gonna get them a show. Every time, we always gonna get them a show if we got. This is our first year not making the playoffs.
Other than 19, we've only missed the playoffs twice during the whole Saban era.
Since it's been there.
So
how do the committee do this one? Do they just put everybody in there win their conference?
I think for the 12-team playoff, the 4 conference champions get a bye.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to the playoff, but we are going to the Sugar Bowl. We drew Kansas State, and they're a well-coached team. They're scrappy. They're blue-collar guys going to work their tails off, and their coach is kind of the equivalent of Nick Saban, but at the FCS level. If you're not familiar with him, he's the guy who won all those national championships at North Dakota State. And he's brought that hard-nosed mentality over to Kansas State. A couple of guys that of note. One, they have a guy in the backfield that kind of reminds us of Jahmyr Gibbs, and that's Deuce Vaughn. He's 5'6", 176 pounds, but that man is in space. He can create quite a problem. And then, his switch out is DJ Giddens. Kind of reminds you of Jace McClellan, but good running game. They have a good quarterback, and Will Howard kind of took over when the wheels started to fall off when A.J. Martinez went down, and things didn't really drop off. Good quarterback, makes good decisions, but sometimes he can get a little erratic and hold the ball too long, which kind of fits well with the guys we have coming off the edge. Guys, we're going to talk about as the game kind of draws near, but off the top of your head, how do you feel like we match up against Kansas State, and where are a few matchups that you'd like to see?
I think that I just hope these guys doesn't go out there with the mindset of just, hurry up and get the game over with, because it can hurt your draft stock and hurt your film, because scouts go by what they see on film and not what they hear, So and it'll also be good for the leaders, to show that they are, real leaders and passionate about it, and, to show their respect to the university for, playing in this game. No matter what round you're going, I think you should show your respect toward the university, because they gave you a chance to, they gave you a scholarship, gave you an opportunity to come play college football, and you made something out of it. So I think that that's the least that you can do in their return, is to go out and try to win this game like it's a championship game. And if it's your last game, and then you're only as good as your last play.
Yeah, well put. Rich, what you got on that, man? Is there any particular matchups that you're looking at and you're thinking, man, this is going to be great for Bama? Or you see any kind of matchups that you're kind of wondering, okay, how's this going to play out?
Well, I mean, I don't know how many O linemen are going to have fielding for this.
Excellent question.
Right? I mean, but no, I mean, kind of echoing Bo, I think it's a great opportunity for a lot of guys that haven't gotten a lot of playing time this year, right? To like showcase themselves heading into spring, heading into winter. Maybe a guy that hasn't really been a leader to, go on the field, be a leader, show what he can do, and in a huge stage, obviously. So I think it's a great opportunity for the young guys, just to kind of build that resume going into that next year. Obviously I know we have a great recruiting class coming in, but, some guys that haven't played this year, between the portal and the recruiting class come in, make a name for yourself, make a name, start that resume, and, get some good tape.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stephen and Smith, you're the last to kind of comment. A couple things I'm looking at. This wide receiver group of Kansas State with Malik Knowles, Cade Warner, if that name sounds familiar, it should be, because that's Kurt Warner's son, and AJ Garcia. They're not flashy, but they're great route runners. Very disciplined. They can be a little bit of a matchup problem with our DBs, but on the defensive side of the ball, Kansas State is they can play well, but then they can also be erratic like their quarterback. They don't play well in space at times and have a hard time tackling, which kind of opens the door for our wide receivers to kind of get going. What do you like? I know you get a chance to evaluate people a lot better than we do. Off the top of your head, what are you looking for in this game?
I'm looking forward to this coaching chess match right here. You got Colin Klein, former K-State alum, played quarterback, was a Heisman finalist when he was playing. He's now the OC at Kansas State against Pete Golding. And Colin Klein likes to run a lot of misdirection, a lot of jet sweeps, a lot of screens, a lot of pop passes, a lot of get to the edge, a lot of gap and zone blocking technique there from Kansas State's offensive line. And with the running back last name Vaughn, I mean, he is slippery, he is quick, he is elusive, he makes very good cuts at 5'6" or 5'7". The guy can play. So it's going to be an early chess match between Colin Klein and Pete Golding. Which one can get the best of the other? Which one can get ahead of the other? That's going to be a fun matchup. Kansas State's got a scrappy defense. We saw that against TCU, but this is a game where can a guy like Colin Klein, I mean, we know elite offensive minds are an issue for Pete Golding, Steve Sarkisian, Lane Kiffin. We're not saying that Colin Klein is an elite offensive mind. He's scrappy enough, but I'm not saying he's elite yet. But does Colin Klein give Pete Golding the business?
That's a good question. Real quick, Donna Bridgeton, $5 super chat. We greatly appreciate that. All right, guys, before we close up, I do want to ask, who do you think opts out, if any at all? Rich, I'll let you start. Do you see anyone opting out, or do you see everyone finishing what they started?
I'm thinking everyone finishes what they started. I think that the guys, that core group of leaders that's still there, I think this still means a lot to them, and I think they're going to put their best foot forward and, hopefully cause some havoc in the Sugar Bowl.
Gotcha. Bo, how do you feel, man?
I think that everyone going to play once Coach Saban delivered the message to them of, how it can help them and how people can view them in a different way. And I don't see anyone opting out. I see them playing hard for the university. Like I said before, they should. The university gave them a scholarship, a chance to come, play football for them. So it would be a respectful thing towards the university for them to play, but it will be a selfish thing for them not to play. And
Gotcha.
I understand that, you know, people can possibly get hurt, but where you get drafted is where you're going to get drafted.
Right. Stephen Smith, that leaves you again. I know you've been a strong proponent of Bryce Young not playing just because of where he stands in the draft. On some boards, he's number 1, but he's definitely top 5. Have you changed your stance at all, or do you kind of mirror what these guys are saying?
I would love to see Bryce play. Honestly, I would love to. I would absolutely love to see him finish what he has started here, but at the same time, he's given everything to
Dramatic
Alabama.
pause.
He's given everything. I mean, he's won a Heisman. He's won awards. I mean, his final year is kind of wasted. So when I mean, he's got a championship, yes, behind of course Mac Jones. So
But he
I don't.
brought a championship.
That's right.
Yes, he hasn't brought one. Yes, he hasn't brought one. But at the same time, I mean, when you're looked at as I'm about to be the number 1, possibly the number 1 overall pick, I get it. Folks are pumping up C.J. Stroud of Ohio State. I get that. But when you're right now in the conversation to be the number 1 overall pick, and you looking at your mom and dad, and your mom and dad saying, "Bro, like you about to change our life." Do you not understand? You's about to change our life.
But
Like
what they don't understand is even like what the outsiders don't understand. We sign a paper that splits these top guys at the program. If you get hurt in a championship game and it mess with your draft slot, you still get that same money where you were supposed to be drafted at. Even if you drop in the draft, you still get that slotted money. So that's what they don't understand. Wherever you're slotted at in the draft and supposed to be going in the draft, and you get hurt and you drops, you still get that money, even if you are, whatever you were slotted at. So it doesn't matter. It not playing only can hurt you. If you play, it shows the NFL how much you cares about your team, how much of a leader that you are, how much you love football, how much you care about your team. That's what it shows. It shows leadership. Like the money gonna be there. You got the money. It's gonna be there regardless.
Shoot, he probably already has the money anyways.
Yeah, exactly. He's got that bag.
You got the money. You just got to go out there and show class. Show them that you a real leader. Show them that you love football. Show them that you put your all into this university. Show your respect toward the fans in the university. You're gonna leave if you don't play, you're gonna leave the university without giving them a memory of your last play in a bowl game after they done supported you through the thick and the thin. You that's what you're gonna do.
Well, I think it goes back to the culture too, right? I mean, like when we were playing, I know I was only there for 1 year, but there was never a talk of like a guy like, no, I'm not gonna do. It's like you're playing for each other. Like, I got you, you got me. Like it wasn't even talked about. It was just like, what do you mean? Of course I'm playing. Like that's dumb. I would never think about sitting out. Like I got you, Bo. You got me. Like let's go ride.
Yeah, let's do it. This is our last one. Let's go ride together. This is our last one together. Let's go do it.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever happens on the field, leave it all out on the field. Be a part of whatever ring. Be a part of that Sugar Bowl ring that Alabama will win.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I've been knowing Drake Kirkpatrick since I was in, I think, the 9th grade. And him and Marquis May and Drake Kirkpatrick were telling me that, he don't even feel like he deserved that championship ring. Him and Mike Mays were telling me the same thing, and I'm like, why you said that? He was like, bro, because we ain't even play, like, like we couldn't do nothing to help the team to win the national championship. So why do we even, deserve to get a ring when we ain't done that? We ain't done nothing. See, they had that mentality, and that mentality transferred over to us, and we had the same mentality as them. You know what I'm saying? Like Marquis Mays, he y'all saw it on TV. He cried tears because he couldn't play. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because of a hamstring injury, and we still end up winning. And he still feel like he didn't deserve that ring because he didn't finish the game. But we don't have guys like that. I don't know what we have now, but I hope that our guys are like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something we're going to find out within the coming weeks. Well, it's time to kind of wind things down before we start closing out. Bo, if you would, man, tell the audience what you got going on. You got a lot, actually, with your website, clothes. You even have
Oh
a
yeah.
show.
Oh yeah, Bo. So I'm gonna give you this in a couple months' notice. I want my birthday shout out on Cameo. So I'm gonna give you a couple months notice for that Cameo.
Okay,
So,
you
yeah.
gonna pay? So you telling me you gonna pay for it?
you better PayPal.
Hey, all right, I'm a cash app it to you then.
All
And
right.
listen,
But tell them about your show, too.
so my very first show starts tomorrow. Developmental focus point. I'm kind of nervous about it because it's my very first one or whatever. And I'm also on Cameo, and I always give the people more than what they ask for. So if they pay for a 45-second video, I would actually get them like a minute and 15, and I would say more than what they want me to say. So Steve, you can pay for a $12 video or a $2 video, and I will give you more than what you asked for.
I
Hey,
will.
I'm trying to
Keep
keep.
that in mind.
I'm trying to keep my 5 stars. So, you got to get the fans a little bit more than what they ask for. You got to go
Look,
beyond. You got to go beyond. You just
look.
like Coach Saban say, if you hang out with average people, you gonna be average. If you hang out with people that's at the top, then you gonna be at the top. So if you hang out with hardworking people, you're gonna be a hardworking person. So if I give the people more than what they ask for, maybe I get more, requests.
There
And
you go.
my clothing line is out. I think my leggings is gonna drop in in like 2 days, 3 days or so. I may be wrong, maybe earlier than that. And the hood is gonna come out as well. And OJ, I'm making OJ a special hoodie, and I already made Derek a special hoodies as well.
Speaking of
And
Derek, Bo. Speaking of Derek, I really hope that Derek wins the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. I really hope he get Walter Payton Man of the Year.
I hope you do too, because they running my boy in the dirt. Do you hear me?
Facts.
He's been running like that for
Yeah,
too long.
but he built for it though.
Yeah.
That's true.
And am I missing something?
I think you got it all. Just a reminder, guys. Yeah, Bo's show will be on the Bama Standard YouTube channel tomorrow night and every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Central. So definitely come support him. He's got two excellent co-hosts. You didn't tell me your co-hosts are.
Yeah, I got to tell y'all about my co-host. I'm very, very sorry. My co-host is Trent Richardson and Blake Sims, and
He got Blake out the club.
I had to get Blake from doing all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But Blake and Trent Richardson gonna be my co-host, and we may have a guest, and we may not. But to us, we are the guests, and we trying to develop younger kids that coming out of high school, going into college, and we're going to talk about the focus point on what to be looking for in going through your developmental points, and listening to your coaches, and paying attention, and doing a little thing, right? Like going to class for 45 minutes because it's only last 45 minutes. You stay at school for 8 hours in high school. You mean to tell me you can't go to 2 classes for 45 minutes, you know?
Facts.
So that's what I always use. You know, I like that's how I got the freshmen to go to the class when I was at Alabama. I told them, hey, listen, yeah, just coming from high school a month ago. You were going to school from 8 to 3 o'clock, 8 hours. Over here, you're gonna have maybe 3 to 4 classes. Well, you really, you got 2 one time and 2 the next day. Ain't that how I go, right? Or it's 2 and 3, however how I go.
Oh my God, yeah.
However how I go. One of them, one day is 50 minutes. The next day is an hour and 30, right? Or an hour and 15.
Yeah. That's Tuesday, Thursday classes. Yeah.
Tuesday and Thursday, hour and 30. You done. Like, come on, don't come over here to this university thinking that you finna be skipping school and then get out here and get on that field. Nah, we finna put you in there with Coach TJ, work you out, give you 6 a.m. workout, give you 7 o'clock study hall on a Sunday night, and may give you study hall after the game. You didn't. When I was on the leadership team, you didn't want to get peered by us. We will peer you for real. I'm the one that gotta take that paper up here to Coach Saban, and he the one that gonna say, yes, Bo, I think that such and such need to be done. And I'm like, oh man, I gotta go tell Frazier this. Frazier gonna try to beat me up,
Steven,
Frazier was kind of crazy for real though.
Hey, Steve, I know you have to jump off, but if you would, real quick, tell folks what to expect on In My Own Words and the Bama Elite podcast.
Oh, yeah. So, In My Own Words, tomorrow, we still getting into the whole, I guess, Sugar Bowl conversation. Guys that may or may not opt out. Guys accepting their Senior Bowl invitations. Emil Ekiyor got his Senior Bowl invitation, accepted that. Byron Young is headed down to the Senior Bowl. I actually got Byron Young as a late first to possibly early second round pick. I think he's been productive throughout his career on the defensive line. Also, with National Signing Day coming up on the 21st of this month, we're going to be looking at, all of the guys coming in this recruiting class. How many of these guys will enroll early? I'm hearing that the majority of the class may come in early, especially the defensive back class, because you got guys competing at the safety spot. You got guys competing on the defensive line.
Don't forget about my boy Justin Haynes.
I'm gonna tell you this: Haynes and Richard Young gonna be duking it for.
Yeah, I told him. I said, listen, you can bring the running back dynasty back to Alabama. Like, I'm gonna help you in every way. I'm gonna pave the way for you. Like, I'm on his mentor. So if he doing anything wrong, it's because of me. I'm gonna put it on.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it on
Bo. All right, Bo. We gonna hold you to that. We gonna hold you to that.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. So
I think people like me being on your show. I'm not. Really...
Look at him.
Look, hey, Bo. People enjoy it, but guess what? I enjoy it also because for some reason, Bo, when you come on, everybody be saying, "Why Saban don't hire Bo, man? Have Bo on the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have Bo be the energy guy. Have Bo be the head of player development. Have Bo be the head of the locker room, the weight training. Like, everybody that listen to Bo, they like, man, have Bo the head of the team prayer meeting. Like, what the world?
Pastor Scarbrough.
they know when I speak facts. You know what I'm saying? It's the real deal. It's what the people you got to get the people what they want.
I mean, when I heard let Bo run the team prayer meeting, I'm like, hold on now. I ain't trying to.
I believe he could.
I mean, now him and Jeremiah Castilla doing that together. Man, that's that man. You want to talk about some?
They gonna have church.
Look. You gonna have church. Hey, you gonna have church and folks acting up at the same time.
Well, Rich, we greatly appreciate you being with us, man. It's been far too long since you were on here last. Before you head out the door, man, tell folks what you got coming up next, and then also how they can find you on social media.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, coming up next, figuring it out. Just got done. I was coaching at the local high school down here. That I went to Thousand Oaks. Good year. Went 10-1.
Let's go.
Yeah, it was good. One league.
You're the receiver coach?
Yeah, receiver. Did a little pass game stuff. So my best friend's the head coach, and I just went and kind of helped him out. But it was fun.
What is it?
So basically, Rich, it was your playbook. He just co-signed it.
What is that, Rich? Where is this?
Thousand Oaks in California, Southern California.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, just
big boy money.
dude, hopefully, I'm gonna reach out to some contacts. Hopefully, get somewhere in the college world, and yeah, see where.
Speaking of contacts, Richard, how about those cleats hung up for good? Because there's a gentleman right next to you that is the face of the USFL. How about you come to the Stallions?
Yeah, sure.
He's the commissioner. The commissioner.
I was just about to say that, I'm the commissioner over there. If you want to play and you want to put your cleats on and you want to get a little dirty, you need to let me know so I can make some shape for you. But if you
stay in shape,
if you done hung them up, then it ain't no sense of us negotiating.
We can talk after the show. We can talk after the show.
Okay.
All right, good deal. Well, guys, that'll do it for us. Again, thank you, Richard Mullaney, for coming on. Absolute blessing. And this cheer them on through the playoffs. Oh, not playoffs. The Sugar Bowl. I see. I'm not used to saying, bowl games. So it's kind of foreign concept.
Every year, you don't even know no other word to say but
playoff. You don't. The vocabulary, doesn't change that easily. But yeah, that'll do it here. Good night and roll Tide.
Roll Tide, baby.